tada aru ada vapsya kala akula akshi tada varudat vapsya kala kulakshi tadarudat vapsya kala kulakshi tam santvaya aha kiritamali tam santvayan aha kiritamali tam santvayan aha kiritamali mata shishunam nidanam sutana nishamya ghoram paripatyamana tadarudadvapsya kala kulakshi tam santvayan aha kiritamali mata shishunam nidanam sutana nishamya ghoram paritapyamana tadarudadvapsya kala kulakshi tam santvayan aha kiritamali mata shishunam nidanam sutanam nisamya ghoram paritapyamana tadarudadvapsya kala kulakshi mata shishunam nidanam sutanam nishamya ghoram paritapyamana tadarudadvapsya kala kulakshi tam shantvayan aha kiritamali mata shishunam nidanam sutanam nishamya ghoram paritapyamana agnidantam vishvakalakshi tam shantayan ma aha kiritamali. Synonyms, word to word meaning. Mata, the mother. Shishuna, of the children. Nidanam, massacre. Sutana, of the sons. Nishamya, after hearing. Ghoram, ghastly. Paritapyamana, lamenting. Tada, at that time. Aruda, began to cry. Bashpa kala akula akshi, with tears in the eyes. Tam, her. Santvaya, pacifying. Aha, said. Kiritamali, Arjuna. Translation given by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki translation. Draupadi, the mother of 5 children of the Pāṇḍavas, after hearing of the massacre of her sons, began to cry in distress, with eyes full of tears, trying to pacify. After hearing of the massacre of her sons, began to cry in distress, with eyes full of tears, trying to pacify her in her great loss. Arjuna spoke to her thus. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta's translation. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namavom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutalim Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamy Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachyata Deshatari Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The last two verses we have understood how Ashwadhama has killed at the dead of night all the Pandavas armies and all the 5 Upa-Pandavas. Then after hearing that news, Draupadi started crying with tears in her eyes. See, Draupadi is a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. And she is very close to Krishna. Even I told in last class also, her one of names is Krishna. She is very, very close to Krishna. Still, she has to undergo the suffering. You see? Because I came to Krishna consciousness now, for me, now onwards, there shall not be any material pangs. There should not be any distress. There should not be any bodily pains. Prabhu, we are paying to Krishna, no? Why are you suffering? Why are you getting fever? Why are you getting so many tribulations? Like that and all, we'll be having some doubts. But if you see here, Draupadi is such a pure devotee, even though she is so close to Krishna, she directly saw Lord Krishna and she has to undergo these material pangs. But do you really think Draupadi suffered because of these material pangs? Yes or no? No. Draupadi didn't suffer. Because a devotee didn't suffer. Even though he experiences, he is crying, but at last he takes everything as the mercy of Krishna, as a blessing of Krishna. Whether it's a wealth given by Krishna, whether it is a suffering given by Krishna, whether it is a ananda given, happiness given by Krishna, and anything is given by Krishna, he just takes a blessing of Krishna and he don't take it for granted. Like that, even Pāṇḍavas, they has to go so many tribulations. The 5 Pāṇḍavas, especially the 5 Pāṇḍavas and Draupadi. See, Kunti Maharani says, Vishan Mahagne Purushada Darshana. In the childhood, the Pāṇḍavas, all the Kauravas try to poison Bhima and they try to kill Bhima. That time also Krishna only saved. And after that incident over, then Kauravas intelligently they send all the 5 Pāṇḍavas with Kunti Maharani before their marriage to that Lakka house and they set to fire. Still that time also Krishna saved Pāṇḍavas. Then they went to exile, forest. They has to face many demons, Hidimba and what is that famous demon? Bakasura, not Bakasura. Who Bhima kills, who takes lots of food grains from that village and they offers to that Rakshasa. I'll let you know. Then like that they has to face many demons and Rakshasas in the forest. Still those places also, Kunti Maharani says only Krishna saved. Vishan Mahagne Purushada Darshana. Asat Sabaya. When Kauravas try to insult Draupadi by strip her naked. That time also Krishna supplied unlength of cloth, sari to Draupadi and he saved her. Actually, why the incident happened? See, if you see, and Dhritarashtra gave a portion of kingdom to Pāṇḍavas to rule, Indraprastha. Then Pāṇḍavas, with the help of Maya, they have established a big kingdom and they started ruling. Then Dhritarashtra invited Pandavas for a gambling match. Because Duryodhana wanted that. Duryodhana wanted, so if Dhritarashtra calls only, the Pandavas will come. So Dhritarashtra sends a letter. Then Pandavas come, because by the respect these things. Then if I call someone, come, we'll fight. We just come, we'll fight. And instead of I fighting with him, I call the famous fighter. I don't know the name of famous fighter. Anybody can help me? Any big fighter in the current generations? Anybody? Okay. If I call him and I'll ask, see, he will fight on behalf of me. I don't fight, I'll sit back and I'll watch. But he'll fight on behalf of me. Actually, Shikuni is considered to be a gamester. He's very expert in gambling. After calling them for a gambling, either Dhritarashtra has to play the gamble or Duryodhana has to play the gamble. Because Dhritarashtra is blind, Duryodhana has to. But they know if Shikuni uses this gamble, Pandavas never win. So they placed Shikuni and they, on behalf of the Kauravas, Shikuni played the gamble match. This is the big mistake. See, first of all, calling, because Pandavas came because elderly people called them. Not that Duryodhana called or Dushyasana called. Because Dhritarashtra called, because by respect to the elders, Yudhishthira with his brothers and Draupadi, they came to Hastinapura. And they started gambling. Then after this mistake, instead of they playing the gamble, they administered somebody else on behalf of them to pay the gamble. That is the last one more mistake. And in any gambling match, after losing the wealth, they should stop. This is the moral rule. Gambling also, those days used to be there. When they lost the wealth, they should stop there. But Kauravas, they didn't stop. See, one more match you came. You put your brothers. Then Yudhishthira put his brothers. He lost his brothers. Then he gambled himself. He lost himself. Then they told, yeah, now we have Draupadi with you. Draupadi is your wife. You gamble her also. They encouraged. Then all of us know Yudhishthira gambled Draupadi also. And he lost her also. See, if I lost the match means I don't have anything. I become a slave. A slave doesn't possess anything, any wealth with him. Slave means, is it? The meaning is that who is called a slave? Who is called a slave? One who doesn't possess any wealth with him. And he has to serve a master. Not like a servant. More worse than that he has to serve. Servant has got a dignity. Little dignity is there. Little dignity. But slave doesn't have that. Then Yudhishthira lost the gamble. He himself lost the gamble. Then how can he gamble Draupadi? That is the one question. See, all the questions I told, this is not told by me. I'll tell who told this one. Then after they lost the gamble, the great hero Karna is the one who hinted, see, now Draupadi is our property. You bring her to the assembly. Then they sends one servant. You go and call Draupadi to this assembly. Now she is our property. Then the servant goes to Draupadi and he asks, my dear, my lord, my dear ma'am, Kaurava said Duryodhana and other parties are calling you to the assembly. And he informed the rest of the things because they lost you in the match. So Pāṇḍavas lost their wealth, they lost themselves and they lost you also in the gambling match. So they are calling you to the assembly. Then what happened? Draupadi, she is very, very intelligent. Then she asked this question. See, Yudhishthira Maharaj lost first himself or lost me first? If he lost first, then how can he lost me? Then you inquire that and come back. Then they says. Then he's after all servant, no? He goes back and puts the Draupadi's question to the assembly. Draupadi asked like this. Then Duryodhana says, let her come to the assembly and asks. Then she denies. Then he says, Dushasana, you go and bring her. Then it is told somewhere that time Draupadi intelligently she started going to Gandhari's palace, because Gandhari knows this means Gandhari is the one who can stop this one. She don't allow this one and all. She is not present in the assembly. So she started going towards the Gandhari's palace. At that time Dushasana comes and he catches her hairs. That time actually Draupadi had just taken bath and just wrapped a lion cloth. And before wearing a queen's sari, before wearing the sari, normally they'll wrap a cloth around their body, covering the entire body. Then they wrap the sari. Then this is there in the dress. Then Dushasana caught her hair and he started dragging her to the assembly. And she started crying. And he dragged forcefully to the assembly. Then there, even though forcefully she dragged to the assembly, as soon as she came to assembly, she paid her respects to the elders, like Bhishma is there, Dronacharya is there, Kripacharya is there, Dhritarashtra is there, many other elders are there. For all of them she paid respects. Then she started putting the same question. Then what is the right? Then Bhishma answered, see, wife is not considered to be a property. Even though he will become a slave, still wife is a wife of the slave only. It's not like that. Wife doesn't possess any wealth, but slave doesn't possess any wealth, but slave can possess a wife. Slave can have a wife. Is it like that? He says. So he can gamble, something like that. She didn't understand. Then Vikarna was who is Vikarna? Anybody knows? He's the one of the Kaurava, the third Kaurava. Then he stood up. He tells the 3 points which I told starting of this one. He tells the same points. See, first Yudhishthira gambled because the elders has invited for this match. Later, the gamble was not stopped morally after they lost their wealth. Still it is continued. Kauravas and Pāṇḍavas. Instead of Kauravas played, they gave their administration to Sakuni. This thing. And first, because of Yudhishthira Maharaj has lost, he cannot have any authority to gamble her. Like the 3 points he kept. But Duryodhana made him silent and he has taken up. Now she is our property. And you come and sit on my lap and take her to our slave's house and let her sweep all our palaces. Like that they started insulting. Then when Vikarna pointed, all Kauravas became silent except 3, Duryodhana, Dushasana and Karna. Karna got anger and he started telling, you uneducated fool, what you know? Nothing like that. She is our property, we can do whatever we want. Why Karna told like that? Because he has a grudge on Draupadi. Because during the Swayambhu of the Draupadi denied to marry Karna. When Karna is coming to the sacrificial arena of Draupadi's Swayambhu to participate, then Draupadi said, see, I don't want to marry a Suta, whose only duty is to become a chariot driver. I don't want to marry you, like that she said. Because of that, Karna just laughed tactfully and he went back and sit in his place. That time onwards, Karna has got a grudge on Draupadi. So now he has got a time and opportunity to insult Draupadi. Like that and all they are doing. Then in that Duryodhana says, now she is our property, let her you make her naked. Then Draupadi started protesting with her hands. No, 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 don't drag me like that. And now she understood, because her power is little less. Dushyasana is got so much powerful than compared to Draupadi. She understood. Now my 5 husbands is not going to do anything. I am also helpless. Shishi Radha Govindaki, Gita Goranki, Srila Prabhupada. He in Dwaraka, he supplied innumerable that time she started kicking all these things and all. That time Arjuna came and saved her like that. Many times they attacked, not only one time. Like that, with Pāṇḍavas, she also suffered so much. But she never blamed Krishna. Krishna, I'm so close to you. Huh? Whenever I will call, you'll come. But still I have to go so many material pangs, so many tribulations, so much suffering I have to suffer. Like that, she never opposed. Neither Pāṇḍavas nor Draupadi, anytime they felt like that. Even they felt, let the tribulation, let the suffering come again and again, again, so that we'll be having an opportunity to see you. This I'm not telling, Kunti Maharani is telling. Kunti Maharani is telling like that. We'll have, because if suffering is coming, you are coming to protect us. That time we can have your darshan. We can see you. Seeing you means stopping our birth and death cycle. So that is more benefit to us. So let these calamities come again and again, so that we'll remember you. That is the mode of a devotee. Not that Krishna, I became devotee, stop my all suffering. Even the suffering is there, we are facing suffering. A devotee should take this suffering as a blessing. Actually it is blessing. Why? Because if you suffer for your sinful reactions, that will be taken away, that will be burned. All the sinful activities burned. That's how Krishna is giving little suffering and is burning so much sinful activities of yours. Of course, as soon as we have taken Diksha from a Guru, all our sinful activities are gone. But a very minute sinful activities, because we did so much sinful activities in our previous life, that we have to suffer little. Instead of our hand is going fully, a scar and handle will come. Like that, small sufferings will come. Then not only that, after taking initiation, we'll also commit more sinful activities. For that also we have to suffer. How we'll commit sinful activities? See, after we became devotees, about another devotee we should not think even in mind is a bad devotee, is a rash devotee, negatively scolding that devotee. Sometimes we'll scold devotees. Like that and all. For that also we have to suffer. Then any mentally thing we do, one remedy is there. Mental offenses, unknowingly we'll offend devotees, right? Unknowingly our mind will offend devotees. For all these things, every day we'll do one remedy. Every day we'll do. What is that? That is, we'll pay every day. Pancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. By praying this verse, all these mental offenses, unknowingly committed offenses to other Vaishnavas will be nullified, will be taken care of. But knowingly will commit Vaishnava Aparadas, for that we have to suffer. That suffering and all, again we should take it as blessing of Krishna, because only small things he is giving and is taking, is burning huge amount of karma, huge amount of simple actions. That is actually blessing. If you are suffering with fever, it's actually blessing of Krishna. But to think that it's very, very difficult, but at least if even though you didn't understand it, mentally you think, yeah, it's a blessing of Krishna, that much is good. Pāṇḍavas are thinking. Pāṇḍavas are thinking. Then Pāṇḍavas are not an ordinary devotees. They are fully surrendered souls. There is no doubt in this. They have surrendered everything. Actually, Vaishnava Acharyas also they say, no, Manasa Deho Geho Jo Kicho Moro Arpilu Tuva Pade Nanda Kishora. Nanda Kishora means Krishna. Manasa Deha Geho means my mind, this body, and whatever I possess, my children, my family, my wealth, everything I'll surrender to you. Everything Arpilu Tuva Pade. I'll surrender at your lotus feet everything. That is the full surrender means. Krishna, I'll surrender to you, but I'll keep some assets with me. No, that is not good. We should surrender everything, including our mind. See, normally all of us surrender everything, but we don't surrender our mind. Of course, including me, we don't surrender our mind. Whatever thought comes to our mind, we'll think that is my thought. That is my property. What that thought is mine. Like that we think. But Acharya says, everything you surrender. Manasa Deho Geho Jo Kichu More. Everything you surrender. Like Pāṇḍavas also, they surrender like that. Not like that namesake they surrender. No. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also is telling, what is telling? Ashlishava Padaratim Pinastumam Adarshanam Marmahatam Karotuva Yatatatava Vidalat Lampato Matprana Natastu Sayeva Naparaha. Oh Krishna, whether you kick me or you embrace me or whatever you do me, you kill me, whatever you do, still you are my beloved. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also told. Then nowadays it became a passion. See, how can a Draupadi can have 5 husbands? A chaste woman can have only 1 husband. How can Draupadi can have 5 husbands? In Kali Yuga, 5 things are rejected or denied in Kali Yuga. What is that? Ashvamedam Gavalambam Sanyasam Phalabraitukam Devarena Sutotpatti Kalau Pancha Vivarjitau. Ashvamedha Yajna, Gomedha Yajna, Sanyasam Phalabraitukam means offering flesh during the oblations to forefathers and begetting a children with the younger brother of husband. These 5 things are forbidden in Kali Yuga. That's when Kali Yuga is not possible. They cannot have 5 husbands. And Draupadi didn't desire in that life. In her previous life, she just asked, I want husband, like that 5 times she asked. She never desired, I want to have 5 husbands. Because 5 times she asked, that's why she got 5 husbands. But in this life, she just followed the authorities. And she married. She never denied the authorities' words. She just followed the authorities and she married. And she satisfied all 5 husbands, including their other wives also. All 5 Pāṇḍavas, they have got other wives. Arjuna has got 5 wives, 4 wives, including Draupadi. Bhima has got 3. Remaining all 2 wives. Apart from Draupadi, another wife also they has got. With their wives also, she used to take care, it seems, you see. Like that character of Draupadi is. That is the character of the Draupadi. Not that I'm a queen, she's the elder queen, and all other queens of wives of my husband has to serve me. She never thought like that. Instead, she served them. And she know how to please everyone. She pleased all 5 husbands equally. Everybody pleased with her. But she loved Arjuna little more. That is there. That is the one thing is there. Because she likes Arjuna. Because actually Drupada Maharaj performed the Homa, Putra Kameshti Homa, having a desire to kill Dronacharya. He want one son. And he want one daughter to marry Arjuna. So Aja performed like that, and he offered oblations in the fire sacrifice to beget a son who will be having ability to kill Dronacharya, and to beget a daughter who will be having an opportunity to marry Arjuna. Then after marrying, who marries Draupadi? There is a question is there. See, because Arjuna has won the Draupadi, Arjuna can marry. That time, Yudhishthira Maharaj is not yet married. Bhima is not yet married. So Arjuna says, no, you marry. My dear brother, you marry. Because you are the elder. Without you marrying, how can I marry? They says like that. Then, Yudhishthira says, Bhima, you marry. Then they didn't think. When they came to their hut, and Arjuna says, Mother, today I won some wealth and I brought it to our house. Then Kunti Maharani, she's inside, she didn't see Draupadi, and she says, whatever wealth you got it, or whatever you got it, whatever fruits, whatever you got it, all 5 of you equally you share. Like that she says. Kunti Maharani says, all 5 of you equally share. Then she sees Draupadi and she thinks, what should I do now? Then Krishna also approved this marriage personally. All the elders are approved. So she married 5 husbands. And she's very, very chaste. She lived with one husband for one year, and she begot one son. When she is living, she did not think about other husband. 1 year she lived with one husband, that's all. After that, there is no more physical connection with any other husband. One husband, 1 year, 5 years, that's all. And 5 children. And those children were killed mercilessly by Ashwadhama. For that, she's crying. See, Draupadi is a pure devotee, she knows the all knowledge. Why she has to cry? The question comes, why she has to cry? There are 2 reasons what I understood. I tried searching and I asked devotees, but nowhere it's there. But what I understood little is that, see, the 5 children begotten by 5 Pāṇḍavas would have been a pure devotees also. Nowhere mentioned they are pure devotees, but 5 Pāṇḍavas are pure devotees. Their children also has got many power, much devotion. They are also devotees to Krishna. So, normally a devotee feels morose when another devotee's association is lost. We'll also feel bad, we'll also cry when we lost association of other devotees. That way we'll feel morose. Because she is also thinking she lost her children's association. She is also pure devotee. Maybe they are also pure devotees. In that way. But even though she is a pure devotee, after all, the 5 are there, her only children, her own children. Material affection also will be there. Because of affection towards her children, she would have cried. That is also is there. With that, she is crying like that. Then seeing Draupadi is crying like that, Arjuna spoke something that we'll see in our next class. I'll stop here. If anybody has got 1 or 2 questions, I'll try to answer. Yes. I don't know. See, if I say yes means, you'll ask, how can he lose the gamble? See, this and all an opportunity to test the devotee's devotion. Actually, devotees gets more suffering than outside karmis. Sometimes it appears like that. But they don't suffer at the heart. The suffering comes bodily, but they don't feel, they don't get affected by that. Like that, Pandavas never affected, but Kauravas are affected. Because this under all Krishna's plan actually to eliminate all the immoral kings, those who are not actually proper, those who are miscreants. Whenever Krishna or any avatar of Vishnu comes, what is their purpose? Establish dharma and protect devotees and Pavitranaya sadhuna vinasaya chaturpushana, and also kill the all these rogues, thieves, all these things, those who don't have any moral values. For that tanda, to reduce the burden of the earth, normally comes. That plan is there. Draupadi has born, whether it is authorized or not, I don't know. Somebody, while searching, they said that Draupadi is incarnation of Kali. She has born to kill all the 1,000 Kauravas. That I know. She has born to kill all the Kauravas. That I know. But she is incarnation of Kali, I don't know. Somebody has told. Some Swamy. Not from ISKCON, some other Mata somebody is told. Like that. The purpose is to do this one. If they didn't do that, how they'll fight and all this burden will be reduced. See, Pandavas tried so much. Not that Yudhishthira Maharaj want to become a king for the entire globe. That's why he fought. No. Yudhishthira Maharaj begged at least let them give 5 villages. See, half of the kingdom they ruled once upon a time. According to the match, they has to give their half kingdom back, which Kauravas denied to give. At least instead of that, one village for one brother, they asked. You know the answer of Duryodhana? He said, if I place a needle, how much land it occupies, that much land also I don't give to the Pāṇḍavas. That is his answer. But Prabhupada also says, see, Kshatriyas cannot beg like a Brahmanas, but anybody else. Kshatriya's occupation is to rule the kingdom and they has to sustain their lifetime. Then how Pāṇḍavas will sustain these things? They need some land to rule. Kauravas are denying to give 5 villages also. Many people went for this one as a messengers for negotiation and as a messengers. Akrura also went. Krishna himself went for peacemaking. But Kauravas didn't listen. Dhritarashtra also didn't understand. They always thought we are 100 in number, they are only 5 in number. When an opportunity came first to Arjuna to select. Actually, this story also I'll tell and I'll end my class. Once Arjuna and Duryodhana, they goes to Dwaraka to see. First actually Duryodhana goes and Krishna will be sleeping that time. Krishna sleeping means actually 2 chairs will be there. One is towards his head side, one more is at his feet side. Then Duryodhana asks, why should I sit at his feet? And he sits at his head side. Then Arjuna also comes. Why they came means to request to participate in the battle to their side. Then Arjuna sits at the lotus feet of Krishna. Then as soon as Krishna opened his eyes, first he saw Arjuna. Then he thought Arjuna came first. But in reality, who came? Duryodhana has came first. So Krishna told, okay, because to make it this one, I'll do one thing. I'll divide into 2 portions. One is myself, one more is the Yadava Sainya. Very powerful Yadava Sainya. We'll fight with one of these things. 2 options are there. Because now, first I saw Arjuna, so I'll give an option, first priority to Arjuna. Arjuna, you select which one you want. You want me or do you want the Yadava Sainya? Then Duryodhana got afraid. Oh my God, Arjuna come. Arjuna, it is for sure he'll select the Yadava Sainya. what you will do. And Krishna also told, I don't lift any weapon in the fight. I'll just be present at their party, that's all. I don't lift any weapon, I don't use any weapon. But Yadava Sainyalki, Arjuna chose Krishna. Then Duryodhana said, and I'm saved. You don't know, wherever Krishna is there, the victory will be that side. Not that wherever Yadava Saina. Yadava Saina is also very powerful. Duryodhana felt very happy. Oh my God, such a fool Arjuna is. Instead of selecting this army, he selected Krishna. Yes.
Did Krishna protect Draupadi Devi only after she stopped trying to protect herself?
Yes.
Or
yes,
surrender means
she stopped fully after she left. She lifted her hands and asking for protection. He protected. We should leave it and Krishna's, and we should not hold ourselves. If you hold anything, I also hold, Krishna also protect, means it's little difficult. That much protection only Krishna will give. If you leave everything to Krishna, Krishna will protect fully. First, Draupadi started protecting herself. Then she could not. Then that time she left everything and she raised her hands, means she stopped everything from her side and she fully depended on Krishna. That time Krishna protected. Okay, I'll stop here. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanand.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 9133107700. హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు,